Say this before you sleep and reset your nervous system in 3 nights. There's a moment just before sleep where your body surrenders, but your soul is still listening. And in that space, between the conscious and the divine, you're more powerful than you've been all day. Most people miss this. They carry the whole day into the night. The tension, the unfinished thoughts, the silent arguments they never voiced but rehearsed 1,000 times in their mind. They lie in bed, body exhausted. But the nervous system is still working overtime. Muscles clenched, chest tight, mind spinning, breath shallow, and most of all heart closed. This right here is why you wake up tired. Not because you didn't sleep long enough, but because your body never truly let go. But what if I told you, you don't need 8 hours of sleep to feel restored? You need 3 nights of real release. And the doorway to that release is what you say to yourself before you close your eyes. Not just any words. Words that match the frequency of healing. Words that tell your nervous system, you're safe now. Words that reprogram your energy while you rest like seeds planted in fertile soil. This isn't about affirmations you force yourself to repeat. It's about truth, vibrational truth spoken with gentleness before sleep, when your mind is most receptive and your heart most open. If you've been feeling anxious for no clear reason, emotionally tired even after doing all the right things, or stuck in cycles that feel too heavy to break, you don't need another to-do list. You need to shift what you're broadcasting as you sleep. Because the truth is, your body listens to your inner dialogue far more than it listens to your outer schedule. And with the right words said in the right way, you can reset your nervous system, reconnect with Source, and begin to feel peace where there was once pressure. You don't have to speak pain out loud for it to echo through your nervous system. Most people think trauma or stress needs to be dramatic to be real. But the truth is far more subtle and far more common. It's the email you didn't answer, the judgment you felt in that meeting, the resentment you swallowed to keep the peace, the memory you pushed down when it rose up at dinner, uninvited. All these little moments accumulate, not in your mind, but in your body, specifically in your nervous system. The body doesn't care if something happened 10 minutes ago or 10 years ago. If the energy wasn't released, if the emotion wasn't allowed to complete its cycle, the body holds on to it as if it's still happening. This is why you feel tired even when nothing dramatic happened. Why your shoulders are tight after doing nothing. Why your heart races when you lie down. Why it feels like your mind is screaming even when the room is silent. You're not imagining it. You're carrying it. The unspoken, the unprocessed, the unresolved. And the place where all of it lands is your bed. Because nighttime is when the distractions go quiet. The world stops demanding. And finally, the noise you buried inside has a chance to surface. Not to punish you, but to finally be seen. See, your nervous system is not the enemy. It's not malfunctioning. It's trying to protect you. It's still responding to all the signals you're unconsciously sending. I'm not safe. I'm not enough. I'm not allowed to rest yet. And so, your body stays tense. Alert. Ready to fight or flee, even when there's no visible danger. What makes this worse is the cultural programming that says, just push through. Be productive. Rest is weakness. So now, not only are you exhausted, but you feel guilty for feeling that way. And what do we do with guilt? We hide it. We perform over it. We pretend we're okay until our body tells the truth for us. Headaches, muscle pain, insomnia, anxiety, emotional burnout. These aren't flaws. They are signals, vibrations, alerts from the deepest part of you, saying, please stop, please feel, please listen. The real weight we carry to bed isn't physical. It's the vibration of suppressed energy. And this energy, if not released, becomes your default frequency. It becomes what you sleep with, what you wake with, what you broadcast, and ultimately what you attract. This is why no amount of effort during the day can override the vibration you fall asleep in. Because sleep isn't escape. It's a mirror. And what you bring into that mirror multiplies. That's why so many people wake up already in emotional debt. Because they never cleared the account the night before. But here's the most beautiful part of all this. It doesn't take years of healing to shift your nervous system. It takes one conscious moment, repeated with love, just before sleep. When your body is asking, "Can I finally let go?" You answer with presence, with permission, with a voice that says, "Yes, you are safe now." When you give your nervous system permission to exhale, everything changes. You start to feel lighter before anything around you changes. You begin to sleep differently, not just longer, but deeper. And soon, your days start to reflect your nights. Peace replaces pressure. Clarity replaces chaos. And love, true, felt, safe love begins to re-enter your field. Are you tired of attracting the wrong people and ending up in frustrating relationships? The truth is, the love you receive reflects the energy you radiate. If you want to build deeper, healthier, and more abundant connections, you need to shift your energy. In my ebook, The Law of Attraction in Relationships, I'll show you how to transform your energy and attract the kind of love you truly deserve. Stop repeating the same mistakes. Start your transformation now. Click the link pinned in the first comment and dive in. Now, let's explore what your nervous system actually needs from you and why that need is spiritual, not just physical. Your nervous system is not broken. It's not overreacting. It's not too sensitive. It's not sabotaging you. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect you from danger. But here's the part no one tells you: your nervous system doesn't respond to reality. It responds to perception. It doesn't need a tiger in the room to activate. It just needs a thought, a memory, or even a subtle energetic mismatch to go. Something's off. I'm not safe. And in that moment, even if you're lying in your bed, under clean sheets, in a locked room, your body tightens. Your breath shortens. Your muscles brace. Your mind begins to spin through scenarios that haven't happened, but feel like they could. This is not weakness. This is intelligence misdirected by old programming. So what does your nervous system really want from you? Not perfection. Not more control. Not a perfect life without any pain. What it's desperately longing for is reassurance. Your nervous system wants to be seen, heard, and told the truth. Not from the world, from you. It wants you to say, "I see that you're scared, and I love you. You're allowed to rest now. The moment has passed. You don't have to stay on guard. I'm not who I used to be. We're safe now." Can you feel the softness in that? This is not just psychological healing. It's spiritual alignment. Because when you calm your nervous system, you're not just relaxing your body, you're reminding your soul that it's home. Here's the real reason your system stays in overdrive. It doesn't believe that someone is truly present. And if you aren't present, no relationship, no circumstance, no accomplishment will ever feel safe enough. We've been conditioned to believe that presence comes from others: a partner, a therapist, a parent. But the deepest presence your nervous system craves is your own. Imagine this. Every night before sleep, instead of numbing out or running through worries, you place your hand on your heart and speak to your body like a sacred child. "I'm here. I see what you've carried. And you don't have to carry it alone anymore." The nervous system doesn't heal through information. It heals through felt safety, through repetition, through loving vibration, through being spoken to with tenderness night after night, until the body starts to believe it's no longer under attack. That's when the healing begins. Because in that moment, your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode, steps back, and your parasympathetic system, rest and repair, steps forward. That's where regeneration happens. That's where hormones rebalance, digestion repairs, inflammation decreases, and intuition sharpens. That's where peace moves in. But you cannot bully your way into peace. You can't think your way calm. You speak it. You breathe it. You feel it into existence. When Jesus said, "Peace, be still," he wasn't just calming a storm. He was demonstrating the power of spoken vibration to shift the external by mastering the internal. You have that same power. And the moment you begin to treat your body not as a project to fix, but as a sacred vessel to reassure, your nervous system starts to respond. It listens. It softens. It begins to trust you again. And in that trust, space opens for healing, for clarity, for divine guidance to return. You may not even realize how much of your alignment is being blocked by an overactive survival response. But once the system relaxes, you'll start hearing God again, not as a concept, but as a presence moving through your body. This is why it's not just about relaxing. It's about reclaiming your relationship with your own soul. Because when the nervous system feels safe, the heart opens. And when the heart opens, manifestation becomes effortless. So if you've been doing all the right things, visualizing, affirming, journaling, but nothing's landing, ask yourself, have I made my body feel safe to receive what I've asked for? If the answer is no, don't judge yourself. Just begin. Begin with one phrase, spoken gently, before sleep, like a prayer. You are safe now. You are not alone. You are deeply loved. And repeat that again, again, again. Soon, your nervous system will believe you, and the life you've been praying for will finally find space to arrive. Your last words before sleep are not just thoughts, they're instructions to your subconscious. Each night, as your brain transitions into the hypnagogic state, the delicate space between waking and sleeping, the veil between your conscious mind and your subconscious thins. And in that brief window, what you say, feel, and believe sinks in deep. The body softens, but the spirit listens. And if the final energy you send into the silence is fear, doubt, shame, or urgency, that's what your system will process while you sleep. But if, instead, you offer love, reassurance, truth, and alignment, something miraculous happens. You don't just sleep, you heal. Because sleep is not just a physical reset. It's an energetic reprogramming. And the words you whisper to yourself in those last sacred minutes act as seeds planted into the fertile soil of your subconscious. Neville Goddard called this the law of assumption, the idea that whatever you assume to be true, especially in the stillness of night, becomes your reality. Florence Scovel Shinn said it another way. Your word is your wand, but here's the key. It only works if it's vibrationally real. You can't lie to yourself and expect your body to believe you. So if you're saying, "I am abundant," but you feel anxious and tense, the nervous system won't relax because it knows the truth underneath. That's why healing words are not about pretending. They're about meeting yourself where you are and then gently guiding your energy to a higher frequency. Let me show you the difference. Instead of saying, "I am calm," say, "I allow calm to enter me now. I welcome peace, even if I've forgotten how it feels." Instead of, "I am rich," try, "I open to the flow of divine provision." I trust that what I need is already on its way. Instead of, I am loved, say, I soften into the truth that I am worthy of love, just as I am. Can you feel the shift? These aren't demands. They're invitations. And invitations are what your nervous system trusts. Because the system isn't looking for declarations, it's looking for resonance. And when you speak words that match a soothing, grounded vibration, the whole body listens. The mind slows down. The breath deepens. And the soul begins to realign. This is what makes healing through words so powerful at night. You're not just trying to think positive. You're transmitting truth. Spoken, felt, anchored. These words become like gentle hands untangling the knots of stress you didn't even know you were holding. And night after night, repetition builds momentum. Not because you're convincing yourself, but because your body is learning a new pattern. One of trust. One of peace. One of receiving instead of resisting. And here's the deeper layer. When you end your day with spoken love, forgiveness, and clarity, you clear the static in your field. And that clarity, that emotional cleanliness, is what allows divine intelligence to move in your life. You begin to hear guidance more clearly. Opportunities find you more easily. Relationships become more honest, more healing, more aligned. Because you're no longer sending out mixed signals. You're aligned in heart, word, and vibration. This is why Jesus said, by your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned, because your words are not just language, they are containers of frequency. And whatever frequency you sleep in becomes your reality. So tonight, when you lie in bed, try this. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe deep and say, I bless this body that has carried me through so much. I release the tension that doesn't belong to me. I allow peace to wash over every cell. I am supported. I am loved. And I am safe to rest. Repeat it softly. Let the sound vibrate through your being. You don't have to force belief. Just speak with intention. And if you do this every night, for just a few minutes, you'll feel it. Your body will begin to trust again. Your sleep will deepen. And your life will begin to mirror the safety you finally gave yourself. Because healing doesn't begin with answers. It begins with gentle, spoken truth. Are you tired of attracting the wrong people and ending up in frustrating relationships? The truth is, the love you receive reflects the energy you radiate. If you want to build deeper, healthier, and more abundant connections, you need to shift your energy. In my ebook, The Law of Attraction in Relationships, I'll show you how to transform your energy and attract the kind of love you truly deserve. Stop repeating the same mistakes. Start your transformation now. Click the link pinned in the first comment and dive in. Next, I'll guide you through a simple 3-night ritual, a reset you can start tonight that speaks directly to your nervous system's deepest need, to feel safe, loved, and at peace. Transformation doesn't happen through force, it happens through rhythm. And nothing is more healing than a loving rhythm repeated night after night, with intention. This is why I want to guide you through a 3-night ritual, a vibrational reset for your nervous system that is simple, sacred, and deeply effective. You don't need crystals. You don't need a perfect environment. You don't even need to believe 100%. You just need to show up with your breath, your voice, and your willingness. This ritual is not a technique. It's a conversation between your conscious self and the deeper part of you that has been waiting to be seen. Night 1, permission to release focus. Letting go of what you've carried unconsciously: tension, emotional weight, old expectations. Before bed, sit or lie down with one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Close your eyes and breathe in slowly through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Do this 3 times. Then softly speak these words aloud. I give myself permission to release what no longer serves me. I let go of every tension that is not mine. I forgive myself for holding on for so long. I now return to the vibration of peace. Feel into each phrase. You don't need to force emotion. Just speak slowly, like you're rocking your inner child to sleep. Then gesture. Brush your hands gently down your arms or across your chest, as if sweeping energy off your body. This physical motion tells the subconscious, I am clearing. Breathe deep. Sleep in this energy. Night 2, permission to receive focus, opening the field to allow love, safety, and divine support to enter your system. This night is about expansion, not mental, but emotional. You've made space by releasing. Now you must fill that space consciously. Begin the same. 1 hand on chest, 1 on belly. 3 deep breaths. Then say, I open to receive the peace I once resisted. I allow love to enter places I once shut down. I trust that I am safe to be soft. I welcome support, physical, emotional, and divine. Feel the energy shift. This time, place both hands over your heart and simply hold yourself there. No need to say anything else. The silence after these words is part of the healing. It's the moment your nervous system begins to believe, maybe I don't have to fight anymore. Sleep in that embrace. Night 3, permission to remember focus, returning to the truth of who you are beyond fear, beyond trauma, beyond the story. You've released. You've received. Now you remember that you are not broken, not behind, not too late. Tonight, sit in stillness a few minutes longer. Let the silence stretch. And when you're ready, speak. I remember now. I am not the pain I've carried. I am the light that has survived it. I am a soul designed for peace, for joy, for ease. I am held by God, even when I forget. And I am ready to return to who I've always been. As you say these words, imagine yourself being surrounded by light, not imagined light, but felt light. Warmth, presence, grace. Then gently whisper, thank you for staying with me. Thank you for not giving up, and rest. That's it. This 3-night reset is not magic, but it is miraculous. Because what you're doing is teaching your nervous system a new language, one of trust, softness, and love. And here's what will start to happen. You'll sleep more deeply, even if circumstances don't change. You'll notice your reactions soften in the daytime. You'll wake up with a new kind of clarity, not forced, but natural. Because when the body feels safe, it stops using all its energy to defend and starts using it to create. And that's where your true power returns. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to create a new baseline, where calm isn't something you chase, it's something you return to. This ritual can be repeated anytime. After a hard week, before a big transition, or simply as a way to reconnect with yourself. Because the nervous system is listening. And when you speak to it with love, it rewires your entire field. Next, let's explore why sleep is more than rest, it's a spiritual gateway. We've been taught that sleep is where the body rests and the mind shuts down. But in truth, sleep is where the soul wakes up. It's the one moment in every 24 hours where the conscious mind, with all its doubts, fears, and rational blocks, finally steps aside. And in that space, Spirit speaks. This is why dreams have guided prophets, redirected destinies, and delivered divine instruction throughout history. In Scripture, Joseph wasn't warned about danger while awake. He was shown in a dream. Solomon didn't ask for wisdom in the middle of a temple service. He asked in his sleep. And Jacob, fleeing with nothing but a rock under his head, saw the heavens open while asleep, and said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not There is something sacred about sleep that religion, science, and spirituality all touch, but few truly live. Because sleep isn't just a physical recovery process. It's an energetic access point, a portal where time bends, where the ego dissolves, and where the divine can finally whisper uninterrupted. But here's the key. You must enter sleep with intention. Because even though your body will sleep regardless, your spirit chooses whether it rests, reconnects, and receives. If you fall asleep in fear, your dreams will reflect it. If you fall asleep in guilt, you'll wake up feeling heavier. If you fall asleep in self-judgment, your energy field tightens and resists the very things you've been praying for. But if you fall asleep in love, in gratitude, in presence, something opens. The spiritual dimension begins to move. Ideas come. Healing accelerates. Synchronicities increase. You feel held even before anything in your life visibly changes. Why? Because when the conscious mind quiets, your inner world takes the lead. And in the quantum field, that's where manifestation begins, not with effort, but with energetic alignment. This is why Neville Goddard insisted that we assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled before sleep. Because in sleep, your assumptions become instructions. Whatever you carry into that portal multiplies. That's why you must guard your final thoughts. Not with fear, not with pressure, but with honor, the way you'd protect a sacred offering. Because when you speak love into your nervous system before sleep, when you create space for spirit to move through your dreams, when you allow truth to replace tension as your final vibration of the day, you activate something that no external practice can give you. You become a partner in creation, not in the waking hours, but in the stillness of night. And as you rest, the divine rearranges. The right person wakes up thinking about you. The right idea rises to your consciousness at dawn. The right door swings open because your frequency made it undeniable. But this can only happen when the inner system feels safe enough to surrender. And that's what these nightly rituals are really doing, not just calming your body, but opening the gate. Because sleep is not the end of the day. It's the beginning of creation. It's the place where your soul meets the infinite, where your prayers don't have to be shouted, only felt. So tonight, when your head hits the pillow, remember, you're not just going to sleep. You're returning to the source. You're laying down in the arms of love itself. And the more consciously you enter that space, the more powerful, peaceful, and guided your waking life will become. Next, let's look at what happens when you continue this pattern when night after night. You speak safety into your body, truth into your soul, and permission into your energy. Because when you make peace your nighttime baseline, you don't just sleep better, you wake up on a new timeline. Every night you enter sleep, you stand at the edge of two realities. One leads back into the same loops, the same tired thoughts, the same anxious awakenings, the same emotional undercurrents that keep you in survival. The other leads to something new. Not just better sleep, but a new timeline. A timeline where peace isn't rare, where safety isn't earned, where your nervous system no longer sees life as a threat, but as a canvas. This is not poetic exaggeration. This is the vibrational truth behind how your life unfolds. Because you do not attract what you want. You attract what you are being, especially when no one's watching. Especially at night, when the masks come off and your frequency is raw. If you sleep in fear, you wake in contraction. If you sleep in resentment, you wake in resistance. But when you sleep in softness, in surrender, in spiritual alignment, you wake in a different dimension. You open your eyes into a field of possibility, not because the world changed overnight, but because you did. Your baseline shifted. You are no longer reacting to life from the wound. You're responding to life from your wholeness. And that changes everything. Because healing the nervous system is not just about feeling better, it's about accessing a different reality, a different version of you, the version who doesn't flinch at intimacy, who doesn't shrink in the face of uncertainty, who doesn't chase love or over-explain her worth, the version of you who walks in peace because she remembers who she is. That memory doesn't arrive through logic. It returns through vibration. And vibration is encoded not when you're awake and trying to manifest, but when you're asleep and surrendered. This is why I want you to keep going. Let this not be a one-time ritual, but a way of life. Because each night you bless your nervous system, each night you speak truth over your body, each night you lay down the armor. You are choosing a new timeline. You are telling life, I no longer vibrate with the version of me who must suffer to grow. I now align with the me who heals through love. This is how you quantum leap without forcing a thing. Not through hustle, not through obsession, but through frequency hygiene. And here's what you'll begin to notice. People around you respond differently, not because they changed, but because you did. Old triggers dissolve not because the world became kinder, but because your system no longer reacts the same. New opportunities flow in not because you chased them, but because your vibration welcomed them. This is not magic. This is law. When you fall asleep as a version of you who trusts, receives, and feels safe, you wake up in a world that matches that version. This is the mystery of timelines. And it's also the simplicity of grace. So don't underestimate the power of what you're doing, this sacred act of calming your nervous system, night after night, with loving intention. Because even if you don't see results immediately, your energy is shifting. Your timeline is aligning. And the universe, which has always been listening, is finally receiving a clear signal. So tonight, as you lie down, say this softly. I am willing to let go of who I was. I am ready to rise into who I came here to be. And I trust that everything is already rearranging for my highest good. Say it. Breathe it. Sleep in it. And awaken not just rested, but reborn. Now, let's bring all of this home and reflect on how this nightly ritual isn't just healing. It's preparation for the life that's waiting for you. You don't have to change your whole life in a day. You just have to choose a new vibration. Before you sleep, that's the doorway. That's the moment that turns survival into surrender, effort into alignment, noise into knowing. Because in the silence of night, when no one is watching, when there's nothing left to perform, your soul finally has space to rise. And when you choose, in that sacred space, to speak words of peace, to soothe your nervous system, to invite God into your breath, you are not just healing, you're remembering. Remembering that you are not your story, not your tension, not your past reactions or traumas. You are a spiritual being encoded with divine peace. You've just been disconnected from your own safety for too long. But now you know the path home. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's not something others will applaud you for. It's subtle, gentle, vibrational. It's in the way you place your hand over your heart before sleep. The way you whisper, I'm safe now, the way you choose to rest, not just because you're tired, but because you're ready to be restored. And if you do this with love, with rhythm, with faith, your nervous system will begin to trust again. Your subconscious will begin to shift, and your mornings will become holy ground, not because you forced healing, but because you received it. This is the beginning of a new relationship with yourself, one where peace isn't conditional, it's foundational. And from that peace, everything else flows. So tonight, not tomorrow, not next week, speak life over yourself, because the words you say before sleep are the seeds of your next awakening. Let this be your new ritual, Let this be your new standard. And if you ever forget, come back here. To this video. To your voice. To the vibration of love that never left you. Because the reset isn't something you chase. It's something you allow. Sleep soft, beautiful soul. You're not just resting, you're rising. And in the next video, I'll show you how to maintain this new vibration during the day, even when life gets loud, so you don't just awaken into peace, you learn to live there.